men formed a small local club dedicated to sports cars and automotive activity. Little did they know the tremendous effect that this interest in sports cars would have on the American automobile industry. These are some of the sports cars, automobiles designed for men for that old pleasure of driving. By 1948 there were 300 members, and it was here at Watkins Glen, New York, on the 2nd of October of that year that America's first post-war open road race was conducted. A road course should contain every possible driving situation, and Watkins Glen is one of the finest courses in the... Fast becoming popular is airport racing. With its long, wide runways, unlimited speeds can be attained, and the safety factor is such that airport races have a clear advantage over most road courses. These races are sponsored by the Strategic Air Command, who realize the tremendous interests that most servicemen have in this sport, and the $40,000 to $60,000 gates help the enlisted men's fund considerably. The Sports Car Club of America is split up into regions for geographic purposes, with each of these regions putting on their own events. Here, members are putting on a benefit race on a half-mile dirt track. The code of the Sports Car Club of America specifically states that members are not eligible to compete for prize money, valuable prizes, or to enter any race in which there is starting money awarded. This is strictly an amateur sport, so all proceeds from such a race go to a worthwhile cause. When a region has held an event for 2 or more years, it can apply for national recognition, and if the event is approved by the National Competition Board, it will become a national event, open to competition licensed drivers from all over the country. One of the most promising and by far the most difficult to drive is the Land O'Lakes regions.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at Lake Phalen in St. Paul, Minnesota, for the final and most spectacular event in the week-long Winter Carnival, the 3rd annual running of a sports car race on ice. These amateur drivers will compete against one another over a slippery, sliding 1¼ miles of lightly graveled ice. For weeks, these car owners have been preparing their little high-performing cars for this event. This little Italian Siata with its 26-horsepower Crosley engine, carburetor adjustment. And in spite of its size, this car will race against larger, more powerful cars. For this is one race where driving skill and not horsepower is going to win. Here is another worthy contender, a 220-horsepower Chrysler-powered Allard. Prior to the event, each car must pass this technical inspection committee. Cars are checked for numerous safety factors, such as safety belts, stoplights, brakes, steering linkage, fuel leaks, tires, wheel bearings, and exhaust systems. Also for general cleanliness and appearance. For these are true sports cars, not hopped-up jalopies. The ice race brings many participants to the Twin Cities, plus interesting spectators like this 1908 Model T Ford, negotiating the downtown traffic. The morning of the race found the officials out early inspecting the course for unseasonal thaws that threatened to cancel the event. Absence of a snow safety wall will find these drivers spinning freely across open ice if they should get off the gravel course. Morning also found the drivers out making last-minute adjustments, taping up lights and chrome for protection against flying gravel. Novice drivers were given a road test to determine their degree of driving skill, and the all-important hours of practice were put in to accustom all drivers to the conditions of the course. And here's the lineup to the 5-lap Pennzoil Trophy Dash for cars of all sizes. In addition to the small cars entered for the first race, there are Jaguar 27, Cecil Barringer, Jaguar number 4, Dr. Daniel Halverson, Chevrolet Corvette number 20, Russ Lee, Old Special number 6, Bill Peters, Supercharged MG number 12, Chuck Huntington, Jaguar number 21, Chris Tenida, Jaguar number 7, Bud Stahl, Ford Special number 17, Johnny Crea, Allard number 3, Don Skogmo, and Jaguar Coupe 26, Ted Hotchkiss. Drivers get their crash helmets fastened and goggles adjusted. This will be a running start with that beautiful Studebaker you saw there on the outside setting the pace. And in this race we will have a pace lap. With the Studebaker doing the pacing, the cars, of course, getting properly lined up. At the same time, the pace lap affords all drivers the opportunity of checking their cars very thoroughly to make sure that they are in perfect running order before entering this race. Out of the S-curve they come, still lined up. The Chevrolet Corvette on the outside there, you see, in the back. And around the north turn they come. Perfect lineup. They get an early flag from the starter, and the lead cars seem not to realize the race is on. But here comes the Allard. Skogmo up to pass the entire field. And as they go into the S-curve, we find that Halverson, Tonight, and Peterson have also passed all of the smaller cars. Watch these babies come around the curve. Come there, expert driving. The Corvette's still on the outside here.
And it looks from here as though an Allard is out in front.
This fellow a little slow start, but he'll be back in that race in a moment. Here's what this race looks like from the seat of the fifth place car, number 10, being a Tom Countryman. That's the Porsche. And those lights flash off and on. The number 4 car. Watch him around this curve. In close to the inside to save time and distance. Out of the S-curve and down the straightaway. Car rockets back and forth a couple of times and gets straightened out. Down to the outside to dig in deep to come around the curve. Miles an hour down the straightaway they come, and as they gather more momentum, and now the supercharged MG passing number 10 to move into 5th place. Into the S-curve again. Watch the slides here. Halverson sliding dangerously. And it's a collision on the back stretch. It looks like Countryman and Huntington are out. In the meantime, it's still Skogmo driving the Allard number 3 in first. Halverson with Jaguar number 4 in second. Tenida in Jaguar number 21 in fourth, and Peters with the old special number 6 in the number 4 position. Past the eyes of the camera they roll, and into the S-curve again. This is where driving skill paid off. Countryman waved into the pits to inspect damage after that last smash-up. Halverson has passed Skogmo, and Peters is now moving up into second. In the under 1500cc class, it's Minia first in the MG, Van Antwerp at second in the Porsche, and Hooten third. There goes Stahl off the gravel and helplessly spinning across the glare ice. In the 4th lap, it's still Halverson in first now, Jaguar number 4, the over 1500cc, and Minia first in the under 1500. Minia driving car number 28. Down across the ice they come. Into the straightaway, and more distance now between these cars. The 3 here bunched up very closely, out of the S. There goes car number 8, Jim Elliott, into a spin, and he's out of the race. Controlling his car very fine, however, keeping it right on the track. Thankfully waiting for the results of this race. Collision on the back stretch has taken out Peters and Skogmo, and Tenida taking second place. Johnny Creel third. Here's the winner, Dr. Halverson. Tenida second. Johnny Creel third. The under 1500cc class, Jerry Minias. MG came in first in class and 4th overall. Van Antwerpen was second, and Hooten third. We were entertained